Hey, I'm Jay Bear. Tequila Jay Bear on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and beyond.
And I am Maddie Jager, also known as Tequila Maddie.
We went to the Highlands of Jalisco recently to visit 3 spectacular and very different tequila distilleries. We went to El Ateo, which is Nom 1635 in Nacimiento, Arandas. We went to El Pandillo, which is Nom 1579 in Jesus Maria. And we went to El Viejito, which is Nom 1107 in Atotonilco.
Our friend Sean Miller from the Packaged Group, which imports all of these brands and several other outstanding Mexican spirits, was our guide and our driver for this voyage.
And my buddy Don, who I've been friends with for more than 40 years, came along for moral support and to occasionally hold the camera when we were shooting videos for some of our friends.
Yeah, our mission on this trip was threefold. First, discover the miracle of El Ateo, a truly micro-distillery turning out tequilas with huge flavor.
We also wanted to investigate 2 very special releases coming from G4, a 7-year extra añejo and the 2nd edition of their acclaimed Dia de los Muertos reposado.
And lastly, to return to El Viejito to create a few videos for our online audience explaining the history and production methods of this venerable distillery.
We went to El Ateo first. It's a gorgeous setting. It's like rustic and enchanting.
Yeah, absolutely. In a tiny building adjacent to a different, larger distillery sits El Ateo. This is one of the most acclaimed new tequila brands to hit the market recently, and they do very few tours, so it was really exciting to see their operation.
We got to meet with the owner, Luis Villalobos, and he showed us around, which did not take very long.
No.
But all the equipment is there to make an incredible product, including a tiny tahona for crushing agaves. And one of their secrets is that their agaves are actually from the neighboring state of Guanajuato, and they're owned by Luis and his family. It creates a tequila with really nice notes of minerals and peppers, and their aged tequila is really terrific too. We had it on the show.
Delicious. There's lots of cinnamon and baking spices.
Yeah, definitely different.
Yeah, we also really love their packaging. It's such an interesting and beautiful, thoughtful brand. El Ateo means the atheist, and each of their expressions features a different philosopher on the label.
We tasted the whole lineup, and we asked Luis a lot of questions, and we were sitting in an ancient farmhouse, which I think he said his grandfather...
Yeah, it sounds right.
His grandfather lived in it back in the day. It's so old that it even has this really low doorway that you have to duck to get in, and the doorway is low like that horses and burros can't walk into your living room.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Like, was that a concern? That was a problem?
I know.
Yeah, so that was a fun fact.
Then as it got dark and started to rain, drinking such incredible tequila in a place with so much history, now realigned for modern production, it was a really moving experience and one that we will not forget.
So this is a blanco, the basic expression of our lineup. It's really, you know the notes, it's really agave forward.
Yeah.
So mineral, floral as well.
Yeah, this is very balanced.
Yeah.
It definitely has that crispness and the minerality. And I get a little bit of a vegetal note to it as well, but it's all very balanced. I really like it. I think that's so good.
El Ateo is destined for big things.
The next morning, we went to an agave field in the Highlands to see the jimadores at work. Once you see how tequila is actually made from ground to glass, you won't complain very much about the prices. We watched this field being harvested, super ripe old agaves, and those piñas were destined to be turned into G4 tequila. And I was struck by just how physical that job is and kind of dangerous too. Maddie even got a turn trying to cut a piña. How did that go?
Yeah, I did. I will say the piñas are very heavy, the coas are very sharp, and so are the agave leaves, so probably won't be pursuing that career anytime soon.
No, don't quit your day job. After that, we went over to the El Pandillo distillery, and that's the first time you were there, I think.
Yeah, it was my first time, and it's a bit out of the way for sure. Sort of in the middle of nowhere is the El Pandillo distillery. I got to see the unique way that they make tequila at El Pandillo with their modified tahona and super efficient processes.
Yeah, and even since I've been there, they've got some newly installed equipment to increase capacity and try some new things, including more wood fermentation, so that's something to look forward to. We also got to see the nearly finished new barrel room, which will drastically increase the amount of tequila that can be aged at this distillery.
Yeah, the one thing that was not finished was the stairs, so we went down the ladder to investigate all of the new barrels.
Yeah, in addition to the barrel, they're going to have a tasting room adjacent to it and a little store as well, which is a long time coming to make that experience a lot better. Then we got to say hi to the legendary man himself, Felipe Camarena, and we were among the very first people in the world to try this new 7-year extra añejo. Wow.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. Super tasty, and you can taste all the flavors, but it wasn't overpowering for being 7 years in barrels.
The fruit, it's
really
like, it's
good.
got like a strawberry, apricot, like orange marmalade nose to it. It's amazing. Really, they must be really, really old barrels, because to be in there that long and still have that much finesse is pretty wild. And after that, we tried the brand new edition of that Dia de los Muertos reposado, which is also crazy.
Crazy. The packaging is amazing. First of all, they have like silk, satin, I don't know, interior of this casket that was made by a local artist just down the street from the distillery. Absolutely beautiful, and the tequila is pretty good too.
Yeah, you can't get a free casket with every tequila, right? You got to really pick your spots.
Certainly, you cannot. The thing about El Pandillo and G4 is that you really notice how passionate everyone there is. They are just fanatical about quality and innovation. They're always experimenting with something new, whether it's barrels, water, fermentation. It's fascinating. It's no shock that Felipe is an engineer by trade.
Yeah, for sure. We piled back into Sean's newly acquired Mitsubishi Montero for the short but beautiful trip to El Viejito.
We've been to this distillery before, but we keep coming back. The proprietor there, Juan Eduardo, is always so genuinely happy to see us, or seems like he is. I guess he could be a great actor. We just love sitting around with him and talking about the tequila business.
And it's such an amazing distillery, so much history. The first one in Atotonilco going all the way back to 1937. And it's such a peaceful distillery. It's right in the agave fields, and most of it's outdoors. So it sort of feels very integrated and harmonious.
Yeah, they always put on a spread. So we ate probably 200 tacos and drank a lot of batangas.
It was a really fun coincidence that while we were there, an agave truck showed up and full of freshly harvested piñas to be put into the brick ovens there. And it's so fun to watch that dump truck of agave spill all across the patio. It's really, really cool. One of the best experiences in all of tequila. But you got to be careful, though.
Yeah, those things are very heavy.
Yeah, you don't want to get trapped under an agave piña.
No.
That's a good way to twist an ankle, that's
Certainly
for sure.
Not.
We also got to see the barrel room at El Viejito, no ladder required. And it was great because they had a surprise custom barrel head for me, which was really an unexpected gesture of friendship. And it turns out there's one for you now, too.
I know. I just saw that the other day. That was so sweet. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. And then we hatched a very special plan to create a brand new extra añejo tequila that will be your first ever project.
It will be.
It's really cool. It's the Tequila Maddie Special Edition.
It's got that $100 bottle taste, but it's so affordable, which is amazing. And we also learned that the rainy season in Jalisco is real. It's very real.
Yeah, it is. When they say rainy season, they're not kidding. We were just sitting there talking about this extra añejo project, and it was one of those hey, you know what? It kind of looks like rain situations. And within moments, a typhoon showed up.
A very moist ride back to Guadalajara for sure.
Yeah, and the thing about El Viejito is that, look, we're just a couple of people with Instagram accounts, and they've been making tequila for almost 90 years, and really good tequila to boot. But they treat us with such warmth. It's really moving. They truly are friends.
So for many years, for 20 or 30 years, we did not sell El Viejito in the United States. And I was criticized by that. But I only started exporting El Viejito into the United States until I found the right people. Sean and Jeff in packaging. And that's why we have now Tequila Viejito in the United States. It's like family. It's like my brothers. I respect them and love them so much that I would trust my brand, our company's brand, to them and to nobody else.
This whole thing is funny because 9 months ago, you'd never been to a distillery.
No, I hadn't.
And now you're known all over Jalisco, and you come into distilleries and people are like, Maddie's here, and they're so genuinely fired up that you're there. That's got to be weird.
That's so crazy. I still can't believe it. I mean, all of the people there are just so so kind and so excited to see you. It's really heartwarming.
The spirit of the people in the tequila industry, it really shows up in the bottle. Everybody there really seems to genuinely embrace that it's an honor and a privilege to make this very special spirit. And geez, if they feel privileged to make it, I think we certainly feel privileged to play our very, very tiny part in helping educate people about it.
Absolutely. And we can't wait to go back.
We'll be back soon enough.